The Testaments Episode 8, Broken, airs Wednesday. 3 words in the synopsis tell us exactly where the danger is. Wedding, secret, backlash. Agnes is being pulled toward a marriage she already knows is wrong.
God has a plan for us all.
Daisy is hiding something that could change her entire future inside Gilead. And Huldah speaks, which may be the most dangerous thing a girl can do in this world.
I never thought about it like that before.
Episode 8 is called Broken, and every storyline begins with someone being handed a role they cannot safely refuse. Agnes is being pushed into the role of bride. Daisy is trapped inside the role of believer, and Huldah may be punished for stepping into the role of witness. So going into Episode 8, the question is bigger than what happens next. The question is, which girl does Gilead try to break first? Before we get into it, this is a pre-episode breakdown. Spoilers through Episode 7 and the official Episode 8 synopsis only. I am book aware, but this video is show safe. I will use the book only as background for themes the show has already introduced. I will not reveal future book twists, future character outcomes, or treat book events like confirmed show events. So if you have only watched the show, you are safe here. And even if you do not remember every detail from the last few episodes, the setup is simple. Gilead is giving 3 girls 3 roles, and each role comes with a cost. Episode 7 already left each girl standing beside a trap. For Agnes, the trap is Commander Weston. She was given matches, and Garth was not one of them. Then came Weston, the powerful commander with a dead wife, a violent reputation, and every reason for Agnes to fear what marriage to him would mean.
I will obey him and...
Agnes tried to make herself look like the difficult choice, and Weston still left that room wanting the match. That is what makes the wedding plans feel so dangerous before they even begin. The more Agnes pushes against the match, the more the adults around her start treating that resistance as a problem Weston can solve. Paula's reaction makes that even clearer. She does not sound worried that Agnes is being forced toward a dangerous man. She sounds relieved that someone may finally discipline Agnes into the shape Gilead wants.
Get far away from me before I hit you.
For Daisy, the trap is the radio. She was called into Weston's office, and there it was, the thing that connects her to Mayday, sitting close enough to change everything.
Daisy. Is that your name?
Yes.
Daisy survived that conversation, but she did not walk out with real safety. She walked out with a worse question. How much does Weston know? And for Huldah, the trap has been quieter. After her period became part of the school's attention, Huldah mentioned going to Dr. Grove for teeth whitening. At the time, it sounded casual. Now it sounds like a breadcrumb.
Let's begin, shall we?
So by the time Episode 8 begins, all 3 storylines already have pressure behind them. Agnes has the wedding, Daisy has the secret, Huldah has the truth. Let's start with Agnes. The synopsis says she is swept up with wedding plans.
She was screaming!
That phrase sounds soft at first. It sounds like dresses, flowers, ceremonies, maybe even excitement. But in Gilead, wedding plans are a countdown. Agnes's wedding planning is almost Cinderella in reverse. The dress does not open the palace doors. It decorates the cage.
It's a dress, not a husband.
Every fitting, every conversation, every polite answer becomes a rehearsal. Before Agnes becomes a wife, Gilead has to teach her how to look like one. That is what makes the Weston match so disturbing. Agnes already knows enough to fear him. She knows his previous wife is dead. She has heard enough about him to understand that this man does not mean protection. She's not the only one who knows. In an earlier episode, we saw Daisy reading Weston's file back in Toronto before Mayday ever sent her into Gilead.
Oh,
And he's racked up a couple of restraining orders for domestic violence.
The file already had his abuse history in it. So when Agnes and Daisy are both circling Weston's name, they are doing it with the same information arriving from completely different directions. Agnes is reading him through her own eyes. Daisy is reading him through a binder. But Gilead does not need Agnes to feel safe. It needs her to look safe. It needs her to stand still, lower her voice, accept the attention, and let everyone around her treat this arrangement as holy. For Agnes, the breaking can start before the ceremony. It starts when everyone treats her future as settled and asks her to practice gratitude for it. The wedding plans are the first ceremony. The real question is what Agnes has to bury inside herself to make it through each step. Her disgust, her refusal, her instinct to run, and maybe even her belief that there is still another way out. Because right now, Agnes is surrounded by people who are not trying to understand her fear. They are trying to manage it. They are dressing the fear, scheduling the fear, praying over the fear, and calling the whole thing a blessing. Now, Daisy's part of the synopsis may be the biggest theory lane, because it does not just say she hides a secret. It says she hides a life-altering secret. That word choice matters. A dangerous secret could mean exposure. A life-altering secret sounds deeper. It sounds like something that changes how Daisy understands herself, her mission, or her future inside Gilead. There are 3 show-safe possibilities here. The first possibility is that Daisy's cover is cracking. After the radio moment with Weston is very real. Daisy may know she is being watched. She may know she has already made a mistake. She may even know that someone else paid the price for her survival. If that is the secret, then Daisy's problem is brutal. She has to keep acting normal while knowing the walls may already be closing in. Daisy has to play poker with Weston while he is holding one of the cards she dropped. The second possibility is that the secret is connected to Daisy's past. The show has already made Daisy's origins important. Her life in Toronto, her parents, Mayday, and the reason she was sent into Gilead are all tied to questions she still does not fully control. I am staying away from future book reveals here, but book-aware viewers know identity is one of the biggest pressure points in this story. So if Episode 8 gives Daisy new information about where she came from or why she matters, that would fit the phrase life-altering very well. The third possibility is that Daisy's status inside Gilead changes. This is the theory I think the show has quietly earned. The setup actually goes farther back than most viewers caught. In an earlier episode, Rita asked Daisy a question before she ever crossed the border.
Do you know if you're fruitful?
Fruitful?
Have you gotten your period?
Daisy's answer,
No one does. I only know one girl who got it.
Mayday was already preparing her for the question Gilead would inevitably ask about her body. They knew she might not have a clean answer to give, which means the show has been holding the body question over Daisy's head from the moment she went in. Because this season has repeatedly shown that in Gilead, a girl's body is never treated as private. A period becomes public information. Fertility becomes social status. Marriage eligibility becomes something other people discuss, track, and use. We saw that with Hulda. Once her period happened, the school immediately started reading her differently. So if Daisy's secret is body-related, that would instantly change the mission. Her disguise gets her through the door. The fear now is that Gilead starts building a future around it. 2 of these 3 lanes are doing serious work right now. Identity has the book waiting at the door. Body has been seeded since before Daisy crossed the border. Either one fits the writer's choice word. The cover-cracking lane is still alive, but it feels smaller than these 2. That is the nightmare of Daisy's storyline. She came in pretending to belong. Episode 8 may be where that pretend role starts closing around her. And Daisy's breaking point is different from Agnes's because Daisy chose the performance. She accepted the risk. She came in as a spy. But choosing a disguise does not make the disguise harmless. The longer Daisy has to perform belief, the harder it becomes to know when the performance will end.
Let her understand that she is worthy of love.
She cannot panic openly. She cannot react honestly. She cannot let the wrong emotions sit on her face for even 1 second. Agnes can see the trap. Daisy has to pretend she cannot. Now, Huldah may be the storyline people underread. Agnes has the wedding, Daisy has the secret. Those are the headline plots. But Huldah's line in the synopsis may be the part of the episode that does the heaviest lifting. She faces backlash after speaking out. And this is where the earlier episodes matter. The Huldah thread has been sitting quietly in the background since the moment her period became everyone else's business.
You saved me from barrenness and emptiness.
In Gilead, that kind of milestone does not stay private. Huldah's period changes the way the school handles her. Suddenly, there are appointments, inspections, and preparations, all the little steps Gilead uses to move a girl toward marriage. And after that shift, Huldah mentions going to Dr. Grove for teeth whitening. That detail matters. By the time Huldah mentions Dr. Grove, the audience already knows his office is not safe. The title, dentist, is doing what Gilead titles often do, making danger look official. So when Huldah is placed on that same path, period, preparation, appointment, Dr. Grove, the show is asking us to remember Agnes. And Huldah is exactly the kind of girl who might say what other girls are trained to swallow. She notices things. She says them plainly. She speaks before fear has time to correct the sentence. In most worlds, that would just make her innocent. In Gilead, it makes her dangerous. If Huldah speaks about Dr. Grove, the appointment is only the beginning. What matters next is how Gilead handles a truth it cannot comfortably admit. Because in Gilead, truth does not automatically protect the person who tells it. Sometimes truth becomes immodesty or disobedience, or proof that the girl caused the trouble. And sometimes the girl who reports the harm becomes easier to punish than the man who caused it. That pattern is not hard to understand. Any institution built on silence eventually treats the truth teller like the emergency, because the truth threatens the building more than the abuse does. The real test is what Gilead does with the truth once a girl says it out loud. That is why Huldah matters so much in episode 8. She may not be the biggest character in the story, but she could be the warning light. Once Huldah speaks and faces backlash, every other girl learns the lesson too. Agnes learns what happens when a girl tells the truth about a powerful man. Daisy learns how quickly Gilead can turn suspicion into punishment. Becca learns whether the system will ever protect a girl from someone like Dr. Grove. And Aunt Lydia may be watching all of it. Because Huldah's danger is that she tells the truth before she knows what the truth can cost. This is why the title Broken feels bigger than one storyline. Agnes is the bride, Daisy is the believer, Huldah is the witness. 3 different roles, 3 different pressures, one system pushing all of them toward the same lesson. Agnes has to perform willingness for a marriage she fears. Daisy has to perform faith while hiding the truth. Huldah speaks, and the system may punish her for refusing the performance altogether. That is how Gilead works.
It controls what girls say, it controls what girls show, it controls what girls are allowed to know about themselves. Then it teaches them that survival depends on making the performance look natural. The violence is real, the threats are real, the punishments are real, but the daily performance is what wears people down. Smile at the wedding plans, hide the panic, lower the voice, swallow the sentence. Pretend the thing happening to you is normal because everyone else in the room has agreed to call it normal. That is the machine episode 8 seems ready to expose. And each girl is standing at a different point inside it. Agnes is being prepared. Daisy is being tested. Huldah is being punished. The title may belong to all 3 because Gilead does not break every girl the same way. Sometimes it uses a dress. Sometimes it uses a secret. Sometimes it uses the truth against the person brave enough to say it. So when episode 8 airs, these are the 3 things I would watch closely. First, watch the wedding language around Agnes. Listen for words like duty, protection, obedience, discipline, blessing, and future. Gilead always hides control inside holy language, so the exact words matter. Second, watch Daisy's face. Whatever her secret is, the danger may come from how hard it is to hide. Daisy's mission depends on her ability to absorb information without reacting, and Episode 8 may put that ability under the most pressure yet. Third, watch what happens after Hulda speaks. The backlash will tell us what kind of truth Gilead fears most. A truth about Dr. Grove, a truth about the school, or a truth about the entire system. And watch Aunt Lydia in the background, because this is exactly the kind of moment she notices. She may not stop the machine right away, but she records where the machine cracks. So that is why I think Episode 8 could be one of the most important episodes of the season so far. It has the wedding, it has the secret, it has the backlash. But underneath all of that, it has one question. When Gilead gives a girl a role she cannot refuse, what part of her has to break to survive it? So now, I want to know what you think. Who do you think the title Broken belongs to most? Agnes, Daisy, Hulda, or all three? And what do you think Daisy's life-altering secret is? Her cover, her body, or her past? Drop your theories in the comments before the episode airs, because this feels like the episode where the final stretch of the season really begins. The episode is called Broken. Now we find out who Gilead tries to break first.